incomplete without problems, a beautiful language is incomplete without Tamil, an inauguration ceremony is incomplete without Tamil Thai Valtu.
So thank you, dignitaries.
So, as we come together for National Science Day, I am delighted to extend a warm welcome to all of you. So, I am very much happy to welcome our beloved Director, CPMB, Dr. N. Sendil, and our Dean, Dr. N. Venkatesa Palanisammy, our Dean, School of Postgraduate, Suresh Kumar, Controller of Examinations, Dr. V. Balasubramanian, Dean, HCR Payu, Dr. Anisha Rani, Professor and Head, Club Secretaries of the organizing function of 3rd BTech Biotechnology, Senior Faculty Members of CPMB, school students and teachers, and esteemed participants from constituent and affiliated colleges and accompanying staffs. And once again, a very warm welcome to all of you and a good morning to all. So, with the theme of empowering Indian youth for global leadership in science and innovation for Viksit Bharat. Okay. So, every year we are celebrating National Science Day on February 28 to commemorate the discovery of Raman effect made by the eminent physicist Sir C.V. Raman. So, he was awarded with Nobel Prize in the year 1930. So, from the year 1987 onwards, India is celebrating this remarkable as a National Science Day to commemorate the important eminent physicist on this Raman effect as a National Science Day. And in CPMB, we are celebrating the National Science Day from 1989 onwards with the funding from Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. So from 1989 onwards, we used to invite school students and college students for exhibiting their science and innovations. So with that, we are having a remarkable journey for more than 3 decades of National Science Day celebration at Center for Plant Molecular Biology and Biotechnology. So every year there will be a theme for the National Science Day celebration. So that tradition continues. So this year, as I said already, that is empowering Indian youth for global leadership in science and innovation for Viksit Bharat. So that emphasizes the role of young minds in driving India's scientific and technological progress, aligning with the vision of Viksit Bharat, which aims for a developed and self-reliant India. Main science festival in India every year, and with the following objectives. That is to widely spread a message about the significance of science and its application in the daily lives of people, to display all the activities, efforts and achievements in the field of science for the welfare of human beings, to discuss all the issues and implement new technologies for the development of science, and as well as to popularize the science and technology among the common people. So with this, India has forwarded or significantly achieved many key advancements in science and technology. So one of the important thing is, like, India has made a remarkable progress in global science and technology landscape, securing 39th position in the Global Innovation Index in the year 2024 and 6th position in Global Intellectual Property Rights that was given by the World Intellectual Property Organization report from 79th in 2019. So with this, it will showcase the advancement in ICT, infrastructure and digital transformation. And actually this Viksit Bharat 2047 main aim is the vision planned by the government of India, aiming to transform India into a developed nation by the year 2047, more good governance. So with this and with that, and also finally, we are having the prize distribution by 12:30 p.m. for the school students, and for the college students, the valedictory session will be by 4:30 p.m. So for the information of house, we are having around 500 participants and 6 schools participated for the events conducted on 24th of this month. And here we are having, today we are having about 83 students, school students from 6 schools in and around Coimbatore. So with that, once again, a very warm welcome you all for the National Science Day 2025. And thanks for the opportunity. Thank you all.
Most respected Dean Agriculture, Dr. Venkatesa Pallisamy, Dean Postgraduate Studies, Dr. Suresh Kumar, the Controller of Examination, Dr. V. Balasubramani, and the Professor and Head Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Kogila Devi, and Bioinformatics, Dr. Arun, and most importantly, the students from various constituent colleges, our TNAU constituent colleges. There are more than 11 colleges, students are here, and their deans who send them here, and also the college, the school students. We have more than 187 school students participated in 7 events, and the college students we have 8 events. All the school students and their teachers and their administrative staff, and also the present media and my senior professors and the students who are in the organizing committee. It's every time Tamil Nadu Agriculture University always celebrate whenever they celebrate the National Science Day, Center for Plant Molecular Biology and Biotechnology, since inception from 1989, we've been given a task to organize the National Science Day. So we organize this one mainly to encourage young minds for the various competition. By that we want to promote the science. So why the National Science Day? You know that Sir C.V. Raman, the Nobel Prize winner during 1930, his invention been published during 1928 for a special Raman effect. The main theme of this one, he written a paper on new type of secondary radiation by Sir C.V. Raman and Krishna, these two people, they written a paper in Nature during 1928. This will lead to this great discovery, the Raman effect, lead to the Nobel Prize during 1930, the Indian who secured the Nobel Prize. After that, there are many Indian origin scientists who obtained the Nobel Prize in the various areas of science, but still this is one of the key inventions by that India celebrating the National Science Day to popularize the science in the common public. So even though the Indian Innovation Index, which we grow from 81 position during 2015, now we reached a 39th position 2024 among 133 countries. That means we are growing in science. We are not only popularizing science, the popularization which lead to the growth of the science in a very larger way. The simple light spectroscopy, how the light interfere with the particle, the photon, which make the diffraction of the light, then it give a very clear message to the Raman spectroscopy, which is key in nowadays many field in physics. That's why this science is still popular among the people. There are every decade we have the disruptive technologies. That means this particular technology will have great impact in the world of science and also the commercial things. This decade, when recently you maybe hear that CRISPR-Cas9 technology, which is the genome editing technology, which have very big impact in this coming decade. Similarly, everyone talking on AI, deep learning and machine learning. This is going to impact all the field, not only the computer science, but also the every science field. The AI and deep learning will going to influence it. Similarly, the black hole, which has been the collision of the gravitational waves, which has been detected. The gravitational wave being detected, the black hole theory being proven, quantum computing, and also the big data. This big data, again, there are many fields like biotechnology and genome sequencing. So these are all the big disruptive technology. This decade will definitely have big impact in coming years, and this is all the science in which we have working on that. The recently concluded Paris AI meet, artificial intelligence meets, whenever either Google CEO Sundar Pichai or the Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, both are insisting that how the AI is going to penetrate on the every field of science. So when you talk on the biotechnology, when you look on the drug discovery, it's a very huge market in the drug discovery market. Now everybody want to have newer drugs, newer formulations, newer effective drug, where this market is very big market, around 1.8 billion market. It grows to 6.89 billion market. It's around 30% CGR, combined growth rate. That means this much of this drug discovery market is there. In that, AI goes to play a bigger role in AI going to play a bigger role. Even though we use the Discovery Studio, Schrödinger, many of the drug discovery softwares which we want to find out the drug combinations, but still the AI is going to rule on this big market. So this molecular biology area, even though we have many Nobel laureates, Hargobind Khorana is been given Nobel Prize during '68 and followed by Venkatraman Ramakrishnan. So he also won in 2009. So all big, the DNA to protein, protein to DNA to RNA to protein, how the nucleotide, how the functions been evolved, or the ribosome protein complex been resolved by Venkatraman Ramakrishnan. So these are all areas still many of the Indians have doing well in foreign laboratories, and Indian origin scientists getting the Nobel Prize, but still in India is lacking on the Nobel laureates, even though we have earlier Nobel laureates. This is the big concern for Indian science. That's why the India given much importance on how to grow this science. So again, when every people looking on the drug discovery market, here is a faster and effective drug, where the Zinca AI, that is machine learning tool which been introduced by Google AI platform, which gained a bigger role in everyone's life on newer clinically, how to quickly get the molecule out and how to reduce the time on clinical trial on the many of the medicines, and 3D structure of the protein or the protein ligand interaction. These are the things which going to play a bigger role in the AI discovery area. So this key technologies always rule every decade. Definitely the AI will have big impact on not only the molecular biology or the drug discovery or the genome sequencing market. So these are a very big area. The plant genome started even little earlier. Arabdopsis is the simple model plant genome been sequenced during 2000, followed by 2005 our crop genome is sequenced. But from that onwards, there are many crop genomes been sequenced, many of the living organisms entire. So this will help us to know what is the genes available, how this have influenced the character, how to modify, how to defective genes we can correct. So these things will help us to get more and more information on the basic science, which have play a major role later on the transcriptome during 2009 to code the genes, what are the genome sequence responsible for particular traits. Then exomes, which 2009, then finally the public genome, then pan genome. After the genome sequence, many similar individual genome sequencing that become 2014. Then again, people start talking about the aging, that telomere sequencing. That means everybody want to live longer period. So for that, the telomere is the key element. If you make the telomere more active or more viable, then your longevity will be high. So that is the one unexplored area of telomere, which everybody want to extend the life in a longer period. So telomere sequencing also been taken up 2020. It will make a big breakthrough that we can even extend the life expectancy even another 10 to 20 years by altering the many of the information in the genome. So that's why now when the genome editing tool comes to market, everybody want to edit the defective gene, make them to perfect. If you have any diabetics, if you have any other genetical disorders, that people want to correct those things and make it a perfect one. So by that, you can edit the gene unwanted thing and make it a perfect one, which we, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, working on many genome editing project in rice or the tomato and other crops. So by that we develop a crop which is more pest and disease resistance on the diabetic stress resistance. So that's why the genome editing is the bigger one, where Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuel Carpenter given Nobel Prize during 2020, even though their invention first paper published in 2012. So this has been a major breakthrough by we are enjoying now. So the present day invention, either Copilot by Microsoft or the Gemini AI by Google, which have definitely a bigger role. That's why many computer science moving towards big data analysis, AI or machine learning. By that they want to influence every science, use this kind of newer technology which can able to big changes in the human mankind. So like the retinal imaging by smartphone, by that they can, Gemini AI can able to help the doctors to find out the retinopathy, etc. So these are all the things which some of the key inventions which always have the newer invention, always have big impact in the coming years. So I also have students, the young undergraduate students and also the school students, to take a science as your venture, not as to move towards more and more people towards science. You can make bigger breakthroughs. Definitely it will help to grow India in a better thing, which as Viksit Bharat 2047, India become a developed nation. That time these younger people, definitely you will be a bigger scientist in the bigger lab and you develop a newer invention. Definitely it will bring more IPR, more patent and more and more revenue by way of developing newer product. By that, Indian science is growing better and better. So this is why the National Science Day being celebrated. This is why we want to enlighten the younger mind to make a better science. By that, India can grow better than the other countries. So with this, I want to make this whole one-day event. Everybody compete each other on different events and try to innovate and try to get the newer ideas from this platform. And with this, I welcome you all for this today's National Science Day event. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Ananda.
So the purpose of celebrating National Science Day, yes, it is already known from the previous two speakers. It is mainly to remember science, importance of science, right? See, we talk about scientists only for the purpose of when we are preparing for quiz competitions. Gun was invented by, aeroplane was invented by, item, name, we mug up and participate in the quiz competition, we forget it, right? So, people wanted to make one special day, entire day, to talk about science, to feel about the importance of science. So that is February 28th. So it was originally proposed by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, NCSTC. So based on their request, the government announced and we are following. Right? So from school days onwards, we have about some portion of marks for record writing, right? So any science innovation, when you want to claim, I invented this, you need to have a record. For that practice only, this record writing is introduced even from school days. In schools, what happened? Parents write record and get mark, students get mark. In college, well, there is no other go, you all put up in the hostel, you are writing, but we are writing. We don't record anything. Okay. From the manual, we copy and write. So record keeping is very, very important when you want to make any progress in science by yourself. When you want to claim this is my invention, so record keeping is important. So this record is, it is not that the controller of examination is not able to give 5 marks proportionate, not to fix this 5 marks. No, it is not like that. So originally when we were students, record is simply compulsory. If you submit record, you can enter into the exam hall. Otherwise, you can go out, fail. Then comes, okay, record 10 marks. Then it has been reduced to 5 marks. Now one is bothered about 5 marks also. So record is important, noting the individual day-to-day activities for science making. Okay. So this record keeping is important. Why I am telling about this is, there are so many hundreds of thousands of ancient India's contributions. For the main purpose of record, we are not able to claim. This is our finding. So orally, many of the findings or science communication is simply orally from generation to generation. For example, medicine for jaundice. You go to the doctor, traditional doctor, he will give a small ball of made up of greens. You have to put it on your head, leave it for 2 hours, take bath, your bilirubin content will be reduced. But nowhere it is written what is there in that green ball. Want of records. Okay, so ancient India's contribution, if you talk, there are so many things starting from 0, decimal system, numeral notations, then numbers, binary numbers. Binary numbers, people say it is Arabic. So from Indian traditional system, Arabic is copied, and then it went entered into the Western countries and named as binary numbers. Likewise, so we have a method of algorithms, then ruler measurements, theory of atom, then wood, steel, zinc, seamless metal globe, plastic surgery, cataract surgery, Ayurveda, and so many things like this. Even in plant tissue culture, the prominent, the pioneer is from India, Maheshwari. And we talk about totipotency. Only plants have totipotency and animal cells don't have totipotency. But when we were studying masters, that time TNAU, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University and Veterinary University was together, and the biotech students come here for completing their coursework. One such fellow was Dr. Raja, who worked with the Women's Center. At that time it was not Women's Center. He worked with the doctor in developing test tube babies. But even 7,000 years before, we have the evidence for babies from a common single material, collection of tissues. We say in plant callus. Where was callus? You know about then Gandhari, right? So Gandhari was a devotee, sincere devotee of Shiva, and Shiva gave a boon that you will get 100 babies. So you Google it for Nobel discoveries. So for each Nobel discovery, so there will be a video about the acceptance speech given by the Nobel laureates. It's just listen to that, it will develop interest in yourself regarding the science inventions. Google it for father, son. Father and son both got Nobel Prize. There are 4 such people. One such example is the invention of machine gun and then silencer for that. So machine gun, the problem is the bullets will come out, again you have to collect the packets, fill it again, and then so he automated it. Maxim, so Maxim has become machine later. Maxim gun. So Maxim gun, this Maxim, while trying to invent this machine gun, because of thousands of trials, he lost his hearing ability. So his son invented the silencer for the machine gun. So both got Nobel Prize. So likewise, the necessity is the mother of invention. Now there is no scarcity for necessity. Everywhere there is necessity. You take in agriculture, starting from like simple example, identifying a male plant in Palmyra when it is a seedling. Identifying a male plant in papaya when it is a seedling. Likewise, there are so many thousands of necessities are there everywhere in agriculture, engineering, every day-to-day life activities. So please develop your interest in science, and I wish everyone of you all the best. Thank you.
really my own as a vessel for this day. Everybody narrated about the importance of Science Day and how it has been started, what is the reason behind for celebrating this National Science Day. Everything is narrated by my preceding speakers. And one more thing you have to understand, every day we are finding a new innovation in our life, but documentation is poor. We are not documenting it. Experience becomes science. Experience instigates the development of the science. And in mankind, science and mankind inseparable. Without science, we cannot flourish. So every years of the mankind are born of the earth. So lifetime and improvement is documented. For that, science is needed. As rightly pointed out by Dr. V. Balasubramanian about the science in ancient time and today. So if you see, science is applied every field, but we have to choose which field suit to individuals. Our choice is very important to involve yourself and finding something which is going to be contribute for the welfare of the human being and allied living organisms in the globe. So if you see the findings, finding of the dynamite, which have both positive and negative. If you take the Nobel Prize, how it has been constituted, you go on Google, where fund is source for the Nobel Prize funding, Nobel Prize winners. There are so many fields are identified for giving a Nobel Prize. How every year the huge funding is able to provide it. Who is the man behind constitution of Nobel Prize? His innovation is what he invented. How that much money has been Nobel Prize Foundation got it, where science contributed. That science has both negative and positive, dynamite. If you use it in right way, it will drive good for the human and allied living organism in the globe. But at the same time, it is used for destruction. It is endanger the globe. So if you see many of the history, science is used wisely as well as opposite. If you see the Nagasaki and I forget suddenly I struck it. Okay, if you see the atomic bomb has been thrown in the Japan, which destructed entire living human and as well as other organisms for millions years and destroyed all the assets, assets, etc. And people are suffering still who are born in the generation who are born in those families are having a problem of disability and so on and so forth. Even if you see 1984, Chernobyl atomic energy plant exploded, Russian people suffered like anything. Still the progeny who was living in the nearby Chernobyl atomic plant, and also the families who are given birth for the new young ones also suffering because of the effect of Chernobyl. Even if you rightly recollect Indian sadness in 1984, Bhopal, the carbide industry, explosion of one of the tank which showed the poisonous gas spreaded in the night time, killed thousands of people in our own country. So what I want to say here, science is an innovation, science is a good for mankind, but it should be used wisely. Now one more thing you should understand, in earlier days, science is only in a particular field your contribution is needed. Now it is not so. Without the collaboration or networking, science will not explode. If we say biotechnology and bioinformatics, it's a combination of science, technology, and other supporting subjects. Business management, if you take economics, if you take agriculture engineering, if you take breeding, and used in many ways, all multi-subject approach. Your fellow students, keep your network for your future that will encourage you to invent new things in the science, field of science. Or you grow, whether you are directly involved in finding a new thing or innovation, or doing your own business in future also need science and understanding. Without that, you cannot succeed in your life. Okay, so networking with people. And one more thing I want to support or say, repeat same thing which is told by the controller of examination. That is, we have to remember our predecessors who are contributed for the science. Particularly, I want to request the organizer that what is contribution of our predecessor scientists who are working in Tamil Nadu agriculture industry should be sensitized to our fellow students, that is first year, second year, third year students, and also school students. What is the contribution of Dr. MSS? What is the contribution of Dr. Ramaya? And so on and so forth. We can have a list which is unending list. Those who are contributed for the development of agriculture and allied science in the Tamil Nadu Agriculture University alone is very remarkable. First of all, we have to remember them, and not only agriculture scientists, in all the scientists, all the field of scientists, we should remember that will give a motivation among yourself so that you can also contribute for the welfare of the humankind in this world. Not only humankind, fellows living organisms, it may be livestock, or it may be plants, or it may be unknown good evolving microorganisms. Even today, or the last 60 days, there was a big celebration in North India, Kumbh Mela, where lot of people, almost 60 crores plus people have dipped in the Ganga. But every day, the Ganga, I read one article, it gets purified itself by killing unwanted microorganisms. It has some good positive organisms or good doing organisms. It kills the unwanted bad organisms. Like that, the scientists of IITs and other institutions saying that there is a microorganism or bacteria like thing in the Ganga water, so it purifies itself like that. So Directorate of CPMP are organizing these type of events. Definitely instigate at least 2 or 3 people or minimum 10 people, even single digit people instigate, get to motivate by this type of events. Definitely that is the outcome of this National Science Day celebration at TNAU. With this, I appreciate the organizer. I say all the best and wish you all the success in this event. Thank you.
Most beloved, the Director, Center for Plant Molecular Biology, and the kingpin of this event, Dr. Sindhi. Good morning once again. First of all, I would like to appreciate and congratulate the efforts taken by the Directorate of Center for Plant and Molecular Biology to organize the National Science Day every year. So right from Dr. Gogila Devi, so we learned that why we are organizing the National Science Day, the purpose and the progress and the significance of organizing the Science Day. As we all know, the science is a systematic body of knowledge. Okay, so as Dr. Venkatesh Palnisam indicated, it may be in any domain, any field. It may be fundamental or applied or social, but the systematic body of knowledge is science. So this forms the basis for the development. Okay, So when we try to promote the science and development, so we need to have three important things. As an economist and as a social scientist, I would like to suggest three important things to the young minds. So we are celebrating this to commemorate the discovery of the Raman effect by Sir C.V. Raman, who come out with this revolution in 1928 as indicated by Sendil, and who has been awarded the Nobel Prize in 1930. I see here almost there are many Sir C.V. Ramans are here and many other scientists who are going to make a revolution in the world. So there are three things, so we can learn from the earlier inventors or the Nobel Prize winners or the persons who influence society in different phases. So the first one is the critical thinking and doing things in a different way. We are very much concerned about, and we are very much familiar with what-based system. But what is needed is how and why-based system that is being widely adopted in Western countries, particularly the US. Why and how? So that actually forms a basis that is the starting point of the critical thinking. So unless you think, you cannot come up with inventions. You cannot come up with novel things, innovations. So critical thinking forms a basis for it. Even our dean was highlighting some of the thing in what we learned, how the science evolved over the years, from the ancient days. Even so the earlier days, the Stone Age stage, when man was living in the caves, he derived his food from the natural course. When the civilization grows, he started growing crops which yield food for them. Okay, so still when the civilization grows, he started growing systematically. And there is every phases, there is a science. So what we call agriculture is farming, is any systematic growing of crops is farming. So there is science exists in each and every phase. Okay, so even say for example the technology development you see worldwide, so the water scarcity is there. Not only in India, not only in Tamil Nadu, everywhere the water scarcity is there. So in the water management field, we a small country, Israel, made a revolution in the water management, application of water. What is that? Can anyone of you guess? So that is the drip irrigation system. Okay, so the drip irrigation, so that actually, the scarcity of water that made people, the farmers, the scientists, to think there is a solution, an alternate to manage water scarcity. So there, the thinking forms a basis, and thinking that driven the evolution of the development of science. So, and also one more thing here is, there are any event, there will be some winners. Okay, I wish all the school students and the participants to win whatever the event you are participating. So who win actually an event or anything? So the winners don't do different things, they do things differently. Okay, so how you do things differently? Critical thinking. So the critical thinking, so it's mainly for the young minds, the young students, school students. So you cultivate the habit of critical thinking that would enable you to emerge as a scientist. And the second thing I would like to suggest is, whatever may be the outcome of your work, your thinking, we have to apply and revolutionize. I still remember the days. Can any one of you tell the revolution in course, there are so many revolutions happened recently. Even Sendil was indicating destructive technologies. So whatever the outcome, whatever the knowledge we have, we learn. So we have to come out with a good thing, apply, revolutionize and influence the society, influence the public, influence the policymakers, so that whatever you are finding or innovation or invention, that will give a big impact. So my dear student friends and the college students from different campuses, with these few words, I would like to wish you good luck to win many prizes in this Science Day event and to become an eminent scientist in your career. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
It was discovered 5,000 years ago by Tamilians, and this was used for preparing Damascus sword and used by Alexander the Great. Are we proud for that? Yes. So we are the pioneer in science, but we lost many documents in making the science in all the fields, especially in Ayurveda and Siddha. We lost a lot of documents. So as science progresses, these discoveries and inventions need not be for human being alone. It should preserve the importance and comfortability of all the living beings in the world. And at this juncture, I would like to remember and commemorate a few scientists who have contributed for the comfortable living of human, a common normal human. Say Dr. Abdul Kalam sir, we know he is the well-renowned scientist of space, but his contribution towards the invention of a small, artificial leg out of the spacecraft material, lightweight spacecraft material, is used heavily by an amputated leg a person. It is highly commendable that we should thank daily, each and every day, by that simple man. So invention or discovery should be like that it should to be useful for daily life and daily usage and for comfortable living of all the human and also the every living being. And one more thing, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, we all know, the great scientist in agriculture. He has done lot of inventions in crops or introducing new varieties, so that he has contributed for the well-being of the human beings in India. So likewise, there is a great list for invention discoveries in various fields. And lately, you know, Elon Musk, school students, Elon Musk, what he has achieved? He has achieved that the spacecraft, after landing the spacecraft, the rocket is brought back to the landing station, and which is considered the greatest achievement, and now we are going to land in Mars also soon, that he has announced. Such is the, great, whatever our deans have said. We should get inspired from those persons and think forward. Okay, your thinking should be that it should take the humankind forward without deteriorating the environment or other living beings. That is my request. Okay, and so at this juncture, and once I would like to state the Albert Einstein's words that never stop to ask questions. As students of both, even it can be school student or college student, ask questions. Then only you can get answers. If you get answers for your questions, you are the inventor, you are the discoverer, and you are the scientist. Okay, that is my request. And with this, the Center for, I would like to congratulate our Director, Center for Plant Molecular Biology, and he is doing a wonderful job every year that he is inviting a lot of students and giving opportunity, and so that they can excel in the world of science. Congratulations, sir, and thank you on behalf of all the students of our college and also school students. and I wish you all success for this program and in future endeavor to all the students. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy to stand before you to share the thanks on this very special day. For one reason, we are here to celebrate science. Probably this is one festival which is very rare, but we don't have a holiday also. Secondly, this event is not only from TNAU, we have students from school and there is a preferred participation from school students. I need to thank the school administration for sending them here along with their teachers. First of all, thanks to all of them. And I take this opportunity to thank our Vice Chancellor for permitting us to have this program here today. However, she couldn't make it for official reasons. And at the outset, I extend my deep gratitude to our director, Dr. N. Sendil, who is the pivot of this particular program. Each and every step has been monitored by him towards successful execution. And thanks for the informative briefing he has given about the NSD. And also he said science has been always a passionate journey. And I need to sincerely thank the gracious presence of all our administrators, academic administrators, Dr. N. Venkatesa sir, Dean Agriculture, Dr. D. Suresh Kumar sir, Dean SPGS, as well as Director Cards, and Dr. V. Balasubramani, the Controller of Examination, and Dr. Anisa Rani, the Dean of Horticulture from Payur. All of them were here, and a lot of useful things came out of them. And to have some of the take-home points from theirs, probably we need to be aware of the rich traditional knowledge what we have and need to explore them, proper documentation, and probably we need to be proud of the ideation what probably has been in practice. Ideation, the term has been very new for us, but the ideation has been there as a long practice for us, maybe for 5,000 years old, and critical thinking, and finally from the Dean Horticulture Payur, science is inevitable for societies. So these are some of the things which probably take-home messages from the felicitations made. And I need to thank the President Head, Dr. E. Gopaladevi ma'am, Biotechnology, for taking care of this particular program. Each and every step meticulously executed towards success of this particular program. And thanks to the year coordinator, Dr. Vellai Kumar, and his team, the third year students, for spending their time, at least for the last 1 month, towards organizing this one day event. Senior professors, Dr. Mohan Master, Dr. Uma ma'am, Dr. Sridevi ma'am, Dr. Sudha, and all the faculty members who have been assembled here. And they've been heading each and every committees actually, and they're meticulously planned and executed. And finally, I need to remember our own TNAU fraternity scientists on this day. Hundreds and hundreds of scientists over 100 years. Happy to remember them, their contributions, which stands proud and made TNAU a tall institution throughout India today. And finally, India, science and culture has been a part of India always. We need to be really proud of the system, very inclusively. However, we didn't make very rampant growth and progress like Western world, but still we are a very inclusive institution as a country, and we need to be really cheerful about the combination, the blend, science and culture staying with us forever. Thank you.